line that wrapped around the square for hours at the Agora yesterday for that new iPad, and the person in front of me got the very last one.
That's a bummer. I anticipated the rush, but I managed to pick up 2. So if you're still interested, you can buy one from me.
Really? That would be amazing. I really appreciate it. I'm so distraught that my hours at the Agora were in vain. How much?
Charge double. You got there early. You got there that afternoon. You waited in the line and it paid off. You got 2. You should charge her double. It's her fault. She didn't get there in time.
Friends have goodwill towards one another. Taking advantage of your friend will corrupt the good the 2 of you share. Therefore, you should not take advantage of
But you
friend.
deserve to profit after suffering that Black Friday Agora line.
But she too suffered in the line. It was not her design, but rather fortunes which decided her fate. By overcharging her, you dishonor your friend. She will resent you, and you will have lost a friend. No minor material gain is worth more than a refe between friends.
Reason has won out in me, so I'll just sell it to you what I got it for.
Thank you. I really appreciate it. If you ever need anything, don't hesitate to ask.
Wonderful. So, as we can see here, each found a gain to one another in terms of the material. We can see very, very clearly that Hermia was in material advantage and wanted to honor her friend and secure the goodwill by selling her excess iPad at a fair price. Now, we will consider a friendship of pleasure.
So how's it going?
Nah, same old, same old.
Yeah, I heard you were into postmodern existentialism a while ago. Glad we got to partake together.
Wait, postmodern existential who?
Getting high, Penelope, getting high.
Oh, you see, I disagree. I reject that categorization of directed endocannabinoid release as postmodern existentialism.
Clearly, we have different values and views.
Oh, well, what do you think of Eugenius Orestes, that public figure?
Public figure? More like public farce.
Oh yeah, only a fool, a blockhead, a dunce, a dolt, an ignoramus, an imbecile, a dullard, a simpleton. Only a clod would endorse him.
What are you saying? Don't you see that a friend of pleasure is a path towards the temporal good? That your mocking of Penelope will dissolve these smoky ties between you?
But I don't know Penelope. We just get high together.
Exactly. Who cares if you upset her?
If you upset her, you will smoke alone. Don't you see that you will lose your friend as a pleasure, your friend for this lofty purpose?
Oh, I don't want to be alone, but especially when I'm transporting my mind. You know, I think we may just have different values. I don't care. That doesn't keep us from partaking this pleasurable act together.
Indeed, we can agree to disagree, because our friendship is not based on that virtue. Blah. Glad we had this talk. Roll up another one.
Already.
Wonderful. And so, very clearly we can see here that they are friends, not because they find one another to be good, or they believe the other to be good, but because they are united by a common pursuit of pleasure. And we can see through that dialogue that whenever they began to explore who the other was beyond their engagement in a mutual pleasure, they were incompatible, that they were people who were not in pursuit of some kind of common good. We will now consider a friendship of virtue. A friendship of virtue is between those friends who wish for their friend's good, for the good of their friend's sake, and are friends in the truest sense. Friends in the truest sense, since their attitude is determined by what their friends are, and not by incidental considerations. The perfect form of friendship is that between good men who are alike in excellence or virtue, to where each finds pleasure in his own proper actions, and in actions like them. And the actions of good men are identical with or similar to one another. People cannot know each other until they have eaten the specified measure of salt together. that they must win each other's confidence through shared experience.
Hey, remember when we snuck behind Trojan lines and stole their nuclear launch codes?
Yeah, the Troy didn't know what hit them.
Nuclear weapons sure make a city burn a lot better than that silly wooden horse.
Yeah, that mushroom hole was pretty impressive, huh?
Yeah, shame that we lost Phoebe.
I mean, really, who would leave a cart full of ceramic pots right in the middle of the road?
Yeah, I heard those shards cut her really bad.
A bit ironic that we're making pottery, don't you think?
Yeah, it's just so sad.
I heard a sad word. Does anybody need a shoulder to cry on?
Yes!
Sad, 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 sad.
People are positively incorrigible. Your friend has fallen, and here you sit, selfishly indulging in sadness. Get over it. Honor and preserve your friend and your painting. Do not let sadness overwhelm you in inactivity.
Yeah, what are we doing? You, me, and Phoebe, we were unstoppable.
We had some amazing times with Phoebe.
We were having such a great time being sad, though.
Control yourself and preserve the good memory.
We should commemorate our happy times together with this piece of art. After all, Aristotle says, friendship is noble as well as necessary. Phoebe helped both of us become better people.
Phoebe saw the good in each of us, just as we see the good in each other. I will always be there for you, just like Phoebe was there for us.
We are friends in the truest sense. I could never harm you because it would seem as if I were harming myself. Phoebe's death was difficult for both of us, but this bowl will serve as a reminder of how she encouraged us in the ways of virtue.
Well, I guess we should finish this thing so that we can pour one out for the homies.
So, there's an interesting point to be made here regarding the good life and a friendship with virtue. Because even though Phoebe was no longer there, Phoebe's impact on their life was such that Phoebe enhanced their ability to think and act regarding what is good. And if we recall all to Aristotle, that is the hallmark and the primary purpose of why we have a friend. And in this case, just the sentiment of Phoebe, when they considered it thanks to the voice of reason, enabled them to complete the act of commemorating Phoebe, to where they would always have something to go back on, to revel at, and much deeper, to use as a momentum piece for bringing further virtue and further good into their life. With that being said, I'd like the cast to come up. Thank you.